Hello, my name is Billy Bob Harris, and welcome to our show. Our guest today is Sean Lowe. Now, you're going to recognize Sean Lowe from his face and his personality from television on The Bachelor. And we're going to talk about The Bachelor, but there's much more to Sean and his family than that show. But anyway, welcome.
Thank you for having me, buddy.
Okay, Sean. Now, this wasn't when you were at Kansas State, after you got out?
Mm-hmm. The whole Bachelor deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was after I got out of Kansas State, and I had been working many different jobs in Dallas, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I should start by saying, while I was at Kansas State, I introduced my sister to one of my teammates who was a friend of mine. They ended up getting married.
Okay.
And so I'm...
Older sister's older?
My older sister, yeah. She's 2 years older than me. And so I'm working these jobs, and I'm single, running around Dallas, and my sister...
Can be a distraction.
It can be. My sister loved the TV show The Bachelor, and she thought she would try to repay the act that I, introduced her to her spouse, so she thought, I'm going to sign my brother up. Now, she did not tell me that she was going to sign me up for that show. And I was out walking my dogs one day, and I got a call, Los Angeles area code. I didn't know anybody in Los Angeles. Answered the phone. Hey, it's so-and-so. I'm a casting director for The Bachelorette. We'd love to talk to you.
Did you say what?
It didn't take me very long to figure out who was behind it.
Yeah.
And I politely said, thank you, but no thank you. I would never, do a silly show like The Bachelor. Yeah. And before I hung up, she said, well, just think about it, because at the very least, it could be a free vacation. You could travel the world. And I go to work the next day, and it was a job I didn't particularly enjoy. And I thought, a free vacation sounds pretty good right now.
Yeah.
So,
now, wait a minute. Let me ask something. Had you seen it on television?
I was familiar with it. It's part of pop culture.
Yeah.
I had never really watched it, but I was familiar with it. I got the gist of it. And in my head, I just thought, I'm not that kind of guy that would do such a silly show. But the rest is kind of history.
Well, I mean, you got to travel. From the first day you were on it, I guess you could say you did 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. So each stint was about 3 months. I was on The Bachelorette for about 3 months. Had a great time. I found the guys, it's 25 guys going after one woman. It's a really silly premise, but it was a lot of fun. We traveled the world. I went all over the place, traveled through Europe and the Caribbean and all over the place. Had a great time. Became friends with the producers who put the show on and the camera people and the sound people. I thought, this is kind of nice, So when they asked me to come back and be the Bachelor, it didn't.
So you got bumped.
I got bumped there.
You got the top 3.
Bumped is a nice way of putting it. I got dumped. How about there's another way of putting it?
I can realize it. I know what that's like. Okay.
Yeah, I got dumped. I think I was the 3rd guy standing, and I guess enough people watching at home felt sorry for me. And then ABC and the people that put that show on came back and said, "Would you like to be the Bachelor?" And I thought, well, that it was kind of fun.
Well, I can imagine meeting all the people.
All this stuff is kind of fun. So, I went back for a second stint, and this time, of course, I'm the lead of the show.
Yeah.
Different scenario. The first go around, I was with a bunch of guys, really nice guys, got along with them well. There's a lot of downtime when you're one of 25, so you just kind of shoot the bull and hang out with the guys during the day. On this other side, I'm all by myself. There's no downtime at all because I was always moving, always doing something.
How many girls were on it?
My season, I believe I had 26 women.
Okay.
And it was just an absolute whirlwind.
Oh, I could imagine. Now, where all did that shoot?
Oh man, you start in Los Angeles, and then we went to Montana, and then we went up to Canada, and then we went down to St. Croix in the Caribbean. And then we did, you do the hometowns where you go to the girls' different hometowns, and then we finished in Thailand.
Did you go to every one of the girls' hometowns?
So at that point, there's 4 women left, and I'd go to their hometowns, meet their families, do that whole thing. Very, very awkward.
I can imagine.
I'm sitting here talking to a father.
Yeah.
He knows his daughter's on a silly TV show. I know I'm on a silly TV show, and we're trying to have these serious conversations. Not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know what? Overall, it was so much fun. And I always tell people I think God has a really funny sense of humor, because I never imagined. Obviously, the show is all about, love and finding the one.
Yeah.
It never works out.
Yeah.
Now here I am.
Yeah.
I go into it with the expectations that I'm just doing this for fun. I'm doing it to travel the world. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
And then what happens?
And I'm the guy who falls in love with a beautiful woman named Catherine. And fast forward, we've now been married for close to 10 years and have 3 beautiful children.
I understand. Now, Sean, if you remember, I don't know, I don't know how long you'd been married, but you didn't have any children. And I met Catherine. You remember me telling you? I said, Sean, you traded way up in the draft.
You could spot it
very
quickly.
I could see that.
She's the absolute best, and it's just funny how God can orchestrate things even through a silly TV show like The Bachelor, and how if you're looking at our we'll call them stats on paper, here I am, this Southern guy, very conservative from Texas, and here she is, raised in Seattle, very different culturally up there. You would just never, Filipino, you would never put the two of us together, but she's exactly what I needed in my life.
That's right. So we need to talk about those results of The Bachelor. 3 kiddos.
Yep.
Ages?
7, 5, and 3.
Is there energy around there?
Oh boy. Is there energy? Yeah, it's safe to say our house is never clean. Every day it's like a tornado goes through it, and then at the end of the night, once you finally get them tucked into bed, you clean up the house, you spend all this time and energy, and then 10 minutes into the next morning, it's a disaster again. But that's just the stage of life we're in.
Now you've got them for 10 days by yourself?
Yes. So Catherine's younger sister lives in France. She's gone over there for 10 days. She's never been apart for me for probably longer than 3 or 4 days. So this is new to both of us, but certainly new for me to be in charge of our 3 kids for 10 days. I'm not sure they're going to survive. We'll see. Okay.
Now, Sean, besides being a father and a husband, what keeps you busy during the rest of the time?
I'm an entrepreneur. I love, if you want to have a long conversation with me, just talk about the entrepreneurial venture that interests you, because I love talking about it. I love talking to other people about their own businesses. So 7 years ago, my best friend, he was the best man at our wedding. His family's been in the furniture business forever. Okay. And we got the wild hair to get into that business ourselves. And of course, his family being in the business forever, we felt like we had certain competitive advantages, and he knew a lot of the people, and he had worked for his family's business. So we started that, and by the way, it's called
2017.
2017. It's called Home by Sean and Catherine Lowe. Okay. Easy to remember. Yeah. And we really didn't know. I did not know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know if it was going to be a legitimate business or what was going to come of it. And yeah, here we are.
Do you manufacture? Talk about that.
We design. We have it manufactured. So we got manufacturing partners. And we'll manufacture in Mexico, Italy. Okay. We've done some stuff overseas. We like Mexico. Same time zone. It's easy to get down there. We'll visit our plants. But we do all the designs ourselves. And we kind of found this niche of oversized. That's our niche. Okay. So our sofas, our sectionals, our chairs, they're all wider than normal, deeper than normal. And we found that it's just kind of the age that we're living in, this Netflix age where people like to binge watch on their couch.
Let's talk about what happened during the pandemic to your business.
Yeah, of course, the pandemic, no one knew what was going to happen to anybody's business, and all of a sudden our demand just goes sky high. And that's because everybody was
staying home.
Everybody was at home, yeah, and so they think, well, I'm going to make my home as nice as possible. I got all this time on my hands. I'm not leaving the house anymore. So yeah, we had a real hard time keeping up with demand during the pandemic, but yeah, we've been extremely blessed. It's a fun business. I enjoy working on it. We've been fortunate enough to be one of Wayfair's top suppliers, and now we've just launched direct to consumer here in Dallas-Fort Worth that we're really excited about. So,
what would be the price from high?
I always say we're very family friendly, so we're not going to be the cheapest, but we're also not going to be the most expensive. Okay. We're somewhere in the middle. We're very proud of our product. We have hardwood throughout. We have great fabrics, all family-friendly, stain-resistant fabrics. We kind of make every piece with our family in mind because I know what my kids do to my furniture. They're jumping.
And you're learning.
They're all over.
Are you getting a PhD in
yeah,
this?
exactly. So that's really our demographic. It's that young family. We've got sleek, modern lines on everything that we do. And yeah, it's all really big, really cool stuff, and we're really proud of it.
Okay, good. Would you say that's your main interest? I know you like business. You like the entrepreneurial business.
Main interest, it's certainly one of my main interests. Being an entrepreneur, I love connecting with people. Just before we came here, I had a couple meetings where I was just connecting people, connecting a friend with someone else who was looking to do the same type of business. And I have different business interests elsewhere, but the furniture business is what I devote most of my time to.
Okay, that's your rifle shot then. Sean, I really admire what all you've done, but what I respect most is your consistent stand for Christianity.
Well, thank you.
And you've been a great beacon for a lot of people, me including one of them, and I know a lot more people feel the same way. So in closing, I want to tell you, I always ask my guests something. Tell me your favorite 3 words.
My favorite 3 words, that's tough. So let's talk about my Christian faith.
Okay.
The only way to experience true joy is through Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
So joy is my favorite word.
Okay.
If I had to pick a favorite word, that's a great word.
That is a good word, yeah.
And you know what's so funny? Every once in a while I'll see someone who just has this great energy. They're smiling, they're kind, and I don't even know them, but I'm just watching from afar. And I'll ask them, "You're a Christian, aren't you?" And 99 out of 100 times they are, because you can just see that's true joy.
Yeah.
Right. Let's stick with the Christian theme then.
Okay.
Huh?
All right.
Sacrifice. I like that word a lot. Obviously, God so loved the world that He sacrificed His one and only Son. Right. And then we can carry that into our own lives. As a husband, you have to sacrifice. You have to show sacrificial love to your wife, which can mean a lot of different things. Yes. Sometimes when you're in an argument and you just know you're right, sometimes you just have to say, I'm sorry, honey, I think sacrifice is a good word, and there's a lot of people out there that sacrifice a lot for their families. You hear the stories of single mothers who are sacrificing so that their kids can be raised the right way and have the things they need. I think that's a beautiful word. And then in closing,
so we got joy.
Joy, sacrifice. How about work? I like the word
purpose.
Work. Purpose, even better. But work, I think in our culture it's kind of lost. People don't want to work, or they don't know the meaning of work, or they don't know how to work. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest worker, because I am not. But when you see someone who really works, who grinds, they're doing it for the right reasons.
Yes.
It's not to make the most money or to have the biggest house, but just, I'm working hard because it's the right thing to do. I love that. That's inspiring.
Purpose and passion, that would all fit together. Sean, appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
All right, bye-bye.